What is up, everybody? This is your host, Colin Thompson. Welcome back to another episode of the Colin Thompson Show. That's Jack Connell. Jack, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing good, doing good. We got a little early afternoon episode today. I like it.
It is nice, Jack. It is nice. It is beautiful out. Fall is here. Some places colder than others. I know Cape May, New Jersey, they're freezing up there. 50s, 40s weather. Charlotte, the best weather city on planet, maybe other than San Diego. We have awesome weather right now. It's probably 70, sunny, no humidity. It's freaking beautiful. But fall's here across the country, which has been really fun. Football is officially back. It's great the first couple of weeks. You get that hot, humid air. Guys are cramping, all that stuff. But now we're getting the real football weather. The leaves are changing, I bet, in Bucks County, Jack. Is that true?
Yeah. It is true. I had a nice little scenic drive up to Peddler's Village. That nice little foresty vibe on 202 it was starting to look a little autumny out there. So I can definitely say the vibes are changing. It is the change of seasons. Everybody's got their allergies, their change of season colds up here. You can tell more than one way is that fall is upon us.
Fall is upon us. Peddler's Village is an awesome place to go year round, but particularly in fall through the holidays is really cool. I kind of grew up around there. My mom has businesses there. I grew up in Peddler's Village, really working with her, working for her, turning the lights on for the grand illumination, when the lights come on for the holidays. So it's a place near and dear to my heart. If you're in Bucks County and you've never been, you need to go. There's a lot to do, a lot to see, a place to eat, shopping. It's cool. But no, an awesome episode for you this week, Jack. I'm not going to bury the lead. Matt Cooper's coming on. U.S. Army veteran, Air Marshal, current police officer. He's just finishing up his long 25-plus year career as a police officer. He's private security for people like Tim Tebow. He's an author, public speaker. I met Matt, and we'll talk about it. We have a long hour episode of him and I just chopping it up, talking about life. It's really laid back. We did it this summer, the summer series that I did before training camp. So it's a couple weeks old at this point in time, but it's still relevant. We just talk about life. We talk a little bit about, different things that, I was on Matt's podcast before, and it's probably the most open I've ever been about my personal life, about what makes me tick, about what makes me upset, about my family, about, personal things that I've really never really shared on air. So check out 2 Dates and a Dash podcast. That's Matt's podcast, 2 Dates and a Dash podcast. But Matt has become a friend. He's been someone that's been, great to me, protective of me, a fan of both each other, and just a great guy. We met at the Maxwell Football Club Awards back in 2018 when I was with the Bears still, and we hit it off. And I go to the event every year now, and it was just great to meet Matt, just a great guy and someone that does a lot for a lot of people, a huge mentor for a lot of people, especially young kids, young athletes. Just a great guy. So I think you're going to enjoy the podcast. What we do here is we have multiple, people with different professions come on the show. We've done a lot of football the last, 6, 7, 8 weeks because football season is came. Jack and Justin came down for training camp. We still have those interviews to come. We still have Matt Ioannidis coming. We still have Johnny Hecker coming. We still have all these ones coming. We have Airplane Repo legend Ken Cage coming on. So these all get backlogged, which is great. Allows me to do my job, allows everyone else to do their jobs on our team, and then also, put out some podcasts that are a couple weeks old. We had an awesome opportunity to go live with Mike Lombardi last week. If you're a football fan, I said this yesterday on Twitter, and you don't listen to that podcast, you're robbing yourself of a lot of knowledge. I think that's really what Jack said after too, was I learned a ton because we all want to learn more about this game, right? I shouldn't say we all, but the people that are really true fans. Like if you're just a fantasy football fan and you want to flip the game on Sunday and you want to go to the bar and eat wings and have a good time, and that's like more the social side of it, great, awesome. But there's a large part of our listeners that really enjoy the business of football. They enjoy, scouting side of football. They watch the combine, right? They're all in. But Mike Lombardi was all about that. I mean, he's literally talking about learning from Bill Walsh, legendary NFL owners, Bill Belichick, like just incredible stories. We could have went for hours, but I just try to keep it tight, keep it light, and we'll get him on before the end of the season. I'd love to get him on multiple times. He's just a great guy, and I had the opportunity to work with his son, so it's a great connection for us. And I appreciate everybody who tuned into that episode. I know there were some people that have tuned into that episode that were first-time listeners and now are loyal listeners. So thank you guys. It means a ton to us. Jack, your birds, man, they look good. I've said it privately to you. right? Because you can't make things on air or Colin this or Colin that. But I said it probably too. I think the Eagles from day one, they have a really good roster, one of the best rosters in the NFL. They're a team that's going to be a playoff team. There's a team that's going to be able to contend for the grand prize at the end of the year. I think the roster's good. I think they have a lot of veterans. I think they have a lot of good players. I never understood the hate for Jalen Hurts. Really, his first year getting an opportunity playing last year and did a lot of really good things. And you're going to bet against that guy. People are still going to say, well, the team goes as Jalen Hurts goes. Well, to me, you're not an educated fan if you're going to say that. Yes, sure, you want it to look different last year, and you want it to be this like playoff quarterback and the Super Bowl winning quarterback type performance. But he took the Eagles to the playoffs. They were up and down last year. And the guy is one of the most hardest working people in the world. You think this guy's not going to get better every year? This is just a start for that player. So I laugh now at everyone going crazy about Jalen Hurts when I said it before to you, Jack, and I've said it to everyone that in my circle that I can talk to kind of quote unquote privately is they're a playoff, they're a Super Bowl contending team. And I think there's a lot of those teams. There's 10, 15 of those teams in the NFL. I'll say it about us in Carolina. I think we're in that same boat, right? Like everyone's like, oh, what do you mean? No, I'm pretty open about how I feel about things. We had a great win this week against New Orleans. We're focused one day at a time, all that cliche stuff, but it's real. But I just think it's funny that Jalen Hurts, Jack, just talk because, like, who bets against that guy? I wouldn't bet against him. The guy is a competitor. He's bet on himself multiple times, transferring, going to different places, coming in behind Carson Wentz, like all these different things. Like the guy is a warrior, and they have a great team. And I know some guys on that team, they're great players. So, yeah, Eagles fans, man. I know you guys are an emotional bunch, but come on now. What do you think, Jack?
I mean, they really have been sensational. I think the biggest stat that like people kind of really they mentioned, but like really wasn't talked about going into the season is this was Jalen Hurts' first season since I think he was like at Alabama, or first time in 6 years that he's had the same play caller for multiple seasons in a row. Because you have to think he had Sirianni for 1 year, then it was Peterson, then it was Lincoln Riley, then it was Saban or whoever the play caller was for Alabama at that time.
Steve Sarkisian
or Bill O'Brien, whoever was there at that time. But, I mean, he has truly shown it. I mean, even after week one, I would say after week one, I was like, yeah, he looked good. But I continue to see it and progress. And he has really just looked – there's nothing you can say negative about him at all. He has improved vastly with his accuracy. He is just incredible with his deep throw, which are the two biggest things that everybody in Philadelphia were harping on him about last year.
Why do people think he would not work on those?
Why people think that a guy who can deadlift 600 pounds and works out like it's his passion more than football thinks he can't improve his arm strength, I don't know. But I always said I think he can improve it. It's right there. And the accuracy, I think, was a concern, but he has improved so much in both those realms. And now they're going from, everybody's going for, do we extend Jalen Hurts to when are we extending Jalen Hurts? It is truly flipped in the matter of, I mean, you look at Rossi and J. Brad went out, and I think it was either right after week one or right before week one. They went out, it was right before Monday Night Football or whatever. They played the Vikings. They were going around Willow Grove Mall asking, is Jalen Hurts the guy? Because there was a big Eagles signing. So there was like 100 or so Eagles fans. And they were still like 50-50. Oh, I don't know. He's not that guy. Like,
what is the guy, though? Like, it is a team sport. And that's why I was saying, like, week one, when you're talking like, yeah, week one, he looks solid and all these different things. It's like, this is a long season. This takes a while. There's only like 2 people on the planet that can come out and do what they do on a weekly basis. And you can name them, right? Like, they're just freaks. They're not normal human beings. To play quarterback in this league, there's different levels to it, but they're not even near the level that people can even relate to. It's their mind, the way they calculate things, the footwork that it takes that I'm learning a lot about this year. Like the footwork on different throws, and okay, it's an RPO. Now I need to take it, like the details of their footwork. It's not just like drop back to pass. It's like crazy detail. So these guys have to do that and not think about it, and then throw the ball with people rushing at them without looking at those people rushing at them. Mm-hmm. It's the ultimate sign of trust and respect. And yeah, so huge respect for that position, as everybody knows. And I think everybody has it, but I just try to paint a picture every week or whenever we talk about QBs, like how far off they are compared to what people really think they are. They're on a whole nother level. They're better than you even think. Just the average guy in the league is ridiculously elite. So that's how hard this game is, though. And that's why that's the most important position in any sport is quarterback spot. But yeah, huge win for us this week in Carolina. Play the Saints, good football team. It's going to be a great division this year. Everyone's, rocking and rolling and kind of beating the crap out of different teams and each other and coming back. Atlanta came back big against the Rams. The Bucs are the Bucs, right? A tight game against Green Bay. Like, it's going to be a great division this year. I'm excited for what we got going on in Carolina. When we were 0-2, I was excited about it. So, I think, a lot of really good things are coming from this football team. And it's hard for me to come on here and say that after when you're 0-2. That's just kind of the world we live in. But that's just fact. I think we got a lot of really good players, a lot of really good coaches, and a lot of really big things to look forward to. So I'm going to bring in our segment matchups, which we've kind of put to the side. And I've been doubted as much on it, but I'm bringing matchups back. There's no better matchup than Wealth Advisory Services when it comes to managing your wealth, period. I've said it before on here before. All our sponsors are people that I personally work with, because I chose them or by family or by just choice. It's all based off of like things that we decided, or things that I've worked with before. Like even SeatGeek, like I've used other companies and like I've got screwed out of tickets. I couldn't resell my tickets after I bought them. SeatGeeks, it's been incredible to work with. And then they work with us as a partnership. But there's no better matchup, and we're going to talk about matchups here and what we're looking forward to this weekend here in the NFL slate. What's ahead in the NFL slate? And I'm actually going to add a new matchup, Jack. It's going to involve the Hurricane, actually. So I'm going to write that down here. But truly, no better matchup than our friends over Wealth Advisory Services when it comes to managing your wealth. Big, small, medium, tall, whatever it is, Wealth Advisory Services has it, truly. They're a family business, 100 years of experience. Doylestown, Bucks County, Cape May, New Jersey, everything in between. They represent people and work with people, nationwide, which has been a really fun thing for me to understand. I was like, thought it was just more of a local thing. They're like, no, we work with people across the country. I'm like, no crap, that's awesome. So to work with those at Wealth Advisory Services when it comes to just figuring out what you're going to do with the couple bucks you have, right? Starting that planning process. Because if you get on that now, it changes your life when you're 30, 40, 50. You can make different decisions instead of decisions you have to make money. It's more decisions that I want to make and things I want to do. Back end, 401k, retirement, working with your business. They do it all. WealthAdvisoryServices.com. If you don't know them, if you should. You should. So matchups this week. The matchup that I'm looking forward to watching this week, we have the Vikings, we have the Saints. They're playing over in the morning in London, which is fantastic. An awesome thing for NFL fans to wake up in the morning and get going and watch that. But the matchup I'm looking forward to this week, we've talked about different players in the Vikings O-line before. No one other than Brian O'Neill versus Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan is one of the premier defensive ends in the NFL. We just played him this week in New Orleans. He's big, strong, fast, extremely experienced veteran. Comes from an NFL family. He's got great moves. He can do it all. In the run and pass game, he's a great player. Versus Brian O'Neill, the right tackle for the Minnesota Vikings. If you're looking at the back of the defense, Cam plays on the left side, Brian plays on the right side, so they're going to be facing each other pretty much every single rep. So Brian O'Neill is Pro Bowl offensive tackle from the state of Delaware, went to Pitt, played tight end, put the weight on him, went to Minnesota Vikings as a second-round pick, I believe. Brian was on our show over the summer, an awesome guest. I think he was our first week 1 episode, Brian O'Neill, Minnesota Vikings. So that's my matchup for this week. We got Brian O'Neill, the Minnesota Vikings, the right tackle, versus the left defensive end, Cam Jordan, for the New Orleans Saints. Jack, who's your matchup? And I actually have a few more here as we move forward.
So my matchup, I tried so hard to find a different one, but of course the homerism in me is picking Doug Peterson to go up against the Philadelphia Eagles defense for the first time since he was let go from the franchise or departed, however you want to phrase that. But that's just, Jacksonville looks so good this season. Their offense, Trevor Lawrence, Peterson is truly the quarterback whisperer, and T-Laws looks sensational. Christian Kirk, after over months of everybody saying he was overpaid, looks incredible as a wide receiver 1 for them. And just going up against his former team, he knows how the core of this defense, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, these guys tick. And it'll be interesting to see how he game plans against them and how he targets them. Granted, there's a lot of new faces there that he hasn't been around, but still, it'll be a great matchup to watch.
I love it, Jack. And the other one I said off the air to you, too, is watch out for Jacksonville this year. That's a great team. I have a ton of respect for Doug Peterson. A lot of people do in this NFL, the NFL landscape. So they loaded up this offseason, too. It's players, not plays. We're going to get into that a little bit. Players, not coaches. Firmly believe in that. Coaches have an impact for sure, but at the end of the day, the players have to go out and execute. Another matchup for me this week, obviously the Ravens-Bills game. Everybody's talking about that, right? But for me, it's Sean McDermott and the Bills defense versus Greg Roman and Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense, right? Obviously, Lamar is having a great year. A lot of quarterbacks are having great years. But Sean McDermott's known as one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. The Bills kind of play their defense. It's cover 4. They got big people in the box. You get linebackers that can run and hit, and Edwards and Milano. They kind of run what they run. It's not like fancy. It's not all this stuff coming from all these different angles. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play Lamar, right? They've played him in the past, obviously, frequently because they're AFC teams. So, again, my matchup this week is Sean McDermott, the Bills defense, versus Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, and the Ravens offense, because there's a lot of new additions to the Bills defense. There's some new additions to the Ravens offense. You can flip it too, right? What's the Ravens defense going to do at home versus oh my God, why is his name slipping?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Thank you, Jack. What's the Ravens defense going to look like versus Josh Allen, right? At home, it's going to be loud. Ravens are going to be bringing that cover 0. They're going to bring in blitz from all over the place, right? So it's going to be fun to see the whole matchup, the entire game, but just to kind of get in the nitty gritty of something I'm really watching. Sean McDermott's a Philly guy too, so I got to give him a shout out. Can be interesting from there. I'm going to move on from my previous one about the Hurricane. We're not going to discuss that, but we're going to move on to Bus 1, Jack. Bus 1 members deserve boxes of fudge, and there's no better fudge and sweet treats across the country than Fudge Kitchen. Fudge Kitchen, the original Fudge Kitchen, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country, right to your house, USPS, right to your door, fresh wax paper. They wrap it in. It lasts forever. I'm not looking forward to the bye week, Jack, because I absolutely love the season. Like, I love it, and I love the routine of it, and the grind. It's awesome because we have a great off season too. It's great balance. But in the bye week, I'm going back and getting some fudge. But you don't need to, though. I don't even know why I didn't say that, though, because I can just have it shipped. Maybe I will this week. You got to win. I got to ship some fudge down from the original Fudge Kitchen and celebrate a little bit with some fudge, some sweet treats for the boys. Maybe the O-line with the tight ends up, the quarterbacks, they'll love it. So Bus 1 members deserve some fudge from the original Fudge Kitchen. Check them out, guys, fudgekitchens.com. My Bus 1 member this week is Teddy Bridgewater. I played with Teddy here in Carolina. He was the quarterback on my lone catch in the NFL and my lone touchdown pass in the NFL, touchdown reception, I should say. Teddy B was great. I love working with him. Extremely knowledgeable quarterback, work hard, grinder type guy. But last week he was at his alma mater in Miami, coaching, writing plays out, mentoring the kids. So he's a Bus 1 member to me. Going back to your high school, being involved. He plays for Miami Dolphins now. He's the backup quarterback there. What a great gig for him. Teddy, I believe, is a starter in this league. But to be a backup for Miami, team trending in an unbelievable direction, right? And with a lot of great players. Tua's having a great year. But Teddy's, a great quarterback. But he gets to go home. He gets to go back, give back to that community, give back to the kids. What a great role model for players is Teddy Bridgewater, young players, high school kids. I love coaching because you can have a huge impact, especially at the high school level. Kids are starting to figure it out more. Kids are growing up. You can help with a lot of things, and I absolutely love doing it, being involved with Lower Cape May football, Archbishop Wood when I can be. So props to Teddy Bridgewater. He's our Bus 1 member of the week this week at the Colin Thompson Show. Anything, Jack, to add there?
No, I think that was great. I saw that video. That was really awesome. I mean, you always seeing the old players that go back to their high school and help out sort of stuff. Teddy's kind of the only example. I've seen numerous ones before, but Teddy's pretty much the main one that pops out of my head, especially coaching on the sideline.
I've never seen that before. I've never seen here's X's and O's. Now he probably had practice with them. He may live around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
He may live around the corner. Yeah, he doesn't have a podcast and media company, I don't think so. He's got a little bit more time in his hands, but no. Props to Teddy B for going out there, Bus 1 member this week. Teddy B deserves a box of fudge. Absolutely. He's had fudge before, though. We've had it. He's had the original Fudge Kitchen back in our facility here for sure. So a new segment, Jack, Under the Bus. Who's going under the bus this week? You got the Bus 1 driving. Who's going underneath of it? That's going to be brought to you by Mia Michi, our new sponsor here at Not For Long Media, the Colin Thompson Show. Mia Michi. Oh, man, my wife and I eat here 2 to 3 days a week. We love this place. Up in Lake Norman, in Mooresville, 25 minutes from the city. That's where I live up here. And it's right around the corner. Mia Michi, Italian food, unbelievable Italian food, Jack. Like unbelievable. Great spot. They just got some TVs up in there for the football game. Their brunch is incredible, but their dinners, I mean, the Utica greens, the chicken parm, the riggies, the fried mozzarella, the calamari, you just boom, keep going. I get the salmon special with pasta and shrimp and just like unbelievable. They have massive, ridiculously large salads. Incredible. The breadsticks are great. Like the garlic bread's incredible. This place, Me and Michi, new sponsor of the Colin Thompson Show. Check them out. Tell Mickey Bonbon that we sent you here at the Colin Thompson Show. Go check out our friends, guys, at Me and Michi in Mooresville. Just right at the northeast part of Lake Norman here, right outside the Charlotte. Me and Michi place is the freaking best. But under the bus, who's going under the bus this week, Jack? Take a guess.
I wonder who. I wonder who it could be.
It's my old friends at the in the Philadelphia media market. Philadelphia media market is getting thrown under the bus. Some, and I was a part of this market, and I guess you could still say I am. You know, we have the show, we talk Eagles. I have a ton of friends in this business. I'm even going to rip one of my friends because I was like, this is where I played at Temple. I was, working, I got to work, but I was around 97.5 The Fanatic with Harry Mays and Jason Martinez. I called games for 97.5 The Fanatic. I know a bunch of Philly media members. I did Eagles pre and post game live. So I get it. I get what's going on. But we have to fight this. We have to fight the urge for low hanging fruit. So who's under the bus this week, Jack? It's the Philly sports media, solely for the pure fact that they just couldn't give up the fact that players on the Eagles still like Carson Wentz. That drives me crazy, folks. So we now have a personal vendetta against Carson Wentz, like he did something wrong, like he owed the city something, like he's the one who wrote all those checks to himself that he was either hurt or couldn't play or he didn't earn the money. He earned the money. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL for a period of time there, for sure. He had a freak injury. The guy was a legend. They're ready to build statues out for him. He got the team to a place where they had unbelievable home field advantage during the playoffs. Nick Foles and a really talented Philly roster took it the rest of the way. That's what teams do. That's what happens. Should be celebrated. But this guy's booed out of the place. People label him as a bad teammate. When I'm seeing pictures of him and Fletcher Cox pregame, and then I'm seeing, just memes and gifs of like what Fletcher's probably saying to Carson, like, oh, you're going to get sacked today. Oh, I'm going to beat your ass today. No, they're probably great friends. Like, I get it, and I get Philly media is trying to create something. I understand that. It's a part of it. But I'm looking at a picture here. Kelsey and Carson Wentz traded jerseys. I mean, talk about their relationship, center-quarterback relationship for years. Like, these are two guys that, like, are deep. Like, I know Trey Burton talked unbelievably about Carson Wentz. Trey's a friend of mine. Right? Like, Carson Wentz was, like, best friends with Nick Foles. Like, this is a quarterback that came in and won the Super Bowl. Like, think about how hard it is for Carson to not live up to what he wanted to live up to. That's what upsets me. So, like, everyone's making a big deal about the grass stains on Carson's jersey because he got sacked so much. Like, they kept trying to pry it out of Jason Kelsey after the game when they're interviewing him in his locker when they had the Carson jersey. Like, oh, you traded jersey with Carson? How about all those grass stains on the back, Jason? Not like, hey, tell me about your relationship with Carson. That's what the question should have been. So that upsets me. Like, there's a personal element to this game. There's 100%. And I get it. As a player, we have to sit here and play the game. I understand that. But, like, you'll get more out of Jason if you say, like, tell me why you love Carson. But they may have done that. But the problem is people capture it and only put the negative on. Like, hey, we're going to put the negative about the grass stains. And I know it's hurt your soul, Jack. You're a Philly media guy. But this hurts my soul as a player. It's like, you know what? He had some injuries. He dealt with a lot of stuff. You don't think he wanted to win in Philly? You don't think he wanted to sign and be there forever? What did he do personally to the city? And then the other one, my boy, my guy, Mark Barzetta, Archbishop Woods, Temple Ave. Love this guy. He's the man. And I've been on our show. We're going to have Mark on our show. I love Mark. Awesome dude. But he had Avonte Maddox on, and he was, like, shocked when Avonte was like, I like Carson Wentz. Like, it was almost like shock. I'm like, come on, Mark. What do you mean? These are former teammates. These are guys that go to battle together. These are guys that won Super Bowls together. So, He said he actually misses the former Cougar quarterback, like actually misses. Like we're shocked by it. He misses the former quarterback because they're friends. This is a business. I get it. We're all part of the same union. We all want to win for the cities, and that's what makes Philly an awesome place to play because there's that passion. There's that. It's like, a couple million strong out there on the field with you as a player. It's unbelievable. But I got to put Philly media under the bus this week, trying to create a narrative of Carson's jersey got grass stains on it, and what are your thoughts? You guys are friends with Carson? I'm shocked. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, guys love him. Like, there's Teddy Bridgewater left Carolina. I mean, I love Teddy. So I don't know, Jack. That irks me, man. It irks me. And you know me, I'm not on the show. I don't say anything negative. And again, I'm not really saying anything negative about the Philly media. Some of my best friends in this industry are Philly media guys. I love it, but I just hate that. Just that story, that generating of the story of like, we're going to take down Carson. He screwed us. Did he really? Dive into the end zone and two guys destroyed his knee? You think he wanted to deal with? Think about his rehab. Think about what he had to go through. Think about the hate. Somebody hates me because I just got my knee destroyed, and like how it hurt him, and probably took a step off his throw and a step off his feet. So I don't know, man. Something about injuries and all that kind of hurts me the wrong way. So that's who goes under the bus this week, Jack. I don't like ripping people. That's where we had to go with it.
That was a deep one. That was a very passionate under the bus debut from you. I like it.
Yeah, Jack, not just the chalk, pat everybody in the back, Colin Thompson show like we always do. So brought to you by me and Michi. On a positive note, oh my God, I'm going there for dinner tonight. We are. It's fantastic. I'm thinking about going for lunch, honestly. Lunch is great, Jack. Huge Michi fan. They got healthy stuff. They got the heavy stuff, the pastas. Oh man, I love their stuff. Great breakfast, great brunch, and they cater. They cater a whole event for us. You guys saw we had that big meal, and you guys saw, some of our followers saw I posted that big meal with Christian McCaffrey's house and all the Panthers players we had there for throwing. We all came down a couple of weeks early for training camp and got some throwing in, and was a big fan of me, Michi. Huge fan of me, Michi. Love their stuff. Great people. Family ran business. Absolutely love it. New segment on the show, Jack. We're going to be pouring some out. We're not going to be pouring some Som Sleep out, though. The new segment's going to be called Pour Some Out. We're not pouring Som Sleep out, Jack, because I absolutely love it. It is the sleep product that helps me fall asleep, stay asleep, and get up in the morning, rocking and rolling, ready to dominate at practice, ready to dominate lifting weights, ready to go. I don't wake up groggy. I absolutely love their stuff at Som Sleep. Get Som Sleep. Get SOM Sleep. Get Som Sleep. Promo code Colin. 10% off. Check them out. Natural products help you go to sleep, wind down, stay asleep, and then get up and rise and kick ass throughout the day. Get Som Sleep. Promo code Colin. So we're going to pour some out for a friend. I saw this report. Jeff Collins got released of his duties at Georgia Tech. You hate to see anybody get let go, let alone someone that I built a personal relationship with. I wouldn't be talking to you today, and probably wouldn't be talking to you from this platform as an NFL player today if it wasn't for Jeff Collins. Jeff opened his doors to all the alumni at Temple right when Coach Rule left. Personal phone calls, personal text, just like Sean Drayton is doing now. Coach Drayton's doing now. And they're turning things around at Temple too, Jack. Let's go, baby. Tough loss of Rutgers, but where things are going in the right direction. Big one over UMass this week. But, he opened his doors to us. And a lot of people do that in this business. I'm truly open your doors. It's one thing to tell alumni, hey, listen, come back. It's your facility. It's your team. No. He said, hey, listen, here's a whole locker row, 10 lockers for former players. So I was able to wash my clothes there. I was able to train there. I've worked with Dave Feely, one of the best strength coaches in the country now at Duke. Got to know him through there. I was able to work out, be around the guys, watch film with people like Ed Foley, be around NFL scouts, be around the business still, and keep me going for several years when I was in and out of the league. So without Jeff, I wouldn't be able to have that. Jeff was unbelievably cordial for me in my first interviews, Jack, post-game, on the field. Coach Collins, what do you think about the win? And Jeff got his arm around me on the field, like, huge win for us at the Owls. We just beat Maryland. Let's go. Like, incredible. Like, as a young reporter or a young person moving up in this business, I've never done this before. No experience. And here I am on 97.5 The Fanatic interviewing people for like doing play-by-play, doing color commentary, and then at halftime or post-game interviewing Jeff. Like, so a ton of respect for Jeff as a man, as a coach. And, I know what it was to some extent, talking to a lot of people there, the hurdle to change that place from what it was with the triple option and the option system and smaller players to recruiting big time against Georgia and going to bat against all these players, all these big universities there in the South. They're competing with Florida and Alabama and Auburn, Georgia, you name it. They're in the hotbed there of recruiting. They're in literally the heart of it is in Atlanta. So Jeff will get another job. Jeff will have success. And he's been just unbelievably loyal and just great to me personally, my family. So I wish Jeff Collins, we're going to pour some out. We're not pouring some sleep out. We're going to pour a little bit out for Jeff. I wish him nothing but the best of luck, but he's a need. He's going to land on his feet. He's going to do unbelievable things, and he'll get another big job again because he deserves it. Huge Jeff Collins fan. So best of luck, Coach. Appreciate all you did for me. I wouldn't be in the NFL again without the opportunities that he was giving us and giving me. A lot of former players can say the same thing. So some somber stuff, Jack. We're throwing people under the bus. We're pouring a little bit out. We had bus one. We got to bring it back, though, Jackie. We got to bring it back, though. What's on your mind, though, Jack? You got a lot going on right now. What do you got going on? You got school. Take our listeners into what's going on in Jack's personal life, because Jack is just one of the many members of we have in Not For Long Media, the heartbeat, you could say, of us here at Not For Long Media, as well as some other members. But you got a lot going on, man. Tell the team what you have going on in your life right now. Tell the world.
So, I got school, the lovely Penn State Abington, second to last semester, if everything remains the course, hopefully.
Penn State undefeated, by the way. Shout out to Pat Kraft and Penn State football. Could have been a bus one member this week.
Yeah. I'm not, I'll save, I'm sure Pat Kraft, I don't really like Penn State football that much. Hot take.
I used to not either, Jack. I used to hate him. But now Pat Kraft's there. Let's go State, baby. I'm a free agent, man. I am a free agent. I had an LSU hat on earlier. Once Florida cut me and said, you're done, medically ineligible, it's over, career's over, you should never play football again, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was so invested. I was Gator for life, met my wife there, and then they broke my heart, Jack. So I'm a free agent, man. You got that going on, Penn State Abington. What else you got going on?
I've been helping out with Ross Tucker. I help run his social media, the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Been doing the social media for that, so that's been a blast. Interned with Ross starting the winter of last year, and I've just remained helping him out, so that's been a blast. And
Ross
then,
is stud, man. Like, how big is he in the sports world? Tell our fans. I mean, it's huge.
Oh, he's huge. Runs a podcast with DraftKings. He's on WIP for the Philly fans. He does Westwood One, so he does CBS Sports Network for, I think, usually the Army games, but last week he had Buffalo, Eastern Michigan. So he's been all over the place in college football and the NFL. So, pretty much he's got his hand in everything. So, that's something I'm sure all of us strive to do with sports media, is just do everything at the pinnacle of it. So, yeah. And then, of course, helping out with the lovely game staff at Penn State Abington as well, helping run all of the games there.
Jack does it all, man. He is unbelievable. We have a great team here, Not For All Media. We're always looking to add more, though. So those that listen are interested in getting in podcasts, whether you have no experience or any experience, we're always looking to add more great people like Jack and our team here. We've added some awesome people lately, and just excited to see where we go, man. It's been fun. We have a lot of great podcasts now. Make sure you check them out. Odd G's, Harry Mays, and Jason Martinez. We got Kenny Albert coming on here in a little bit, Jack. The great Kenny Albert. We have Two Girls, One League football podcast driven by all women. We love what they got going on, a new show. We have Breaking Bats with J.A., Justin Ayers. A lot of people know to listen to the show, and then Brian O'Grady. We have a couple Wade in the Weeds to grow too, brought to light, a few other things cooking there too. I haven't even told Jack about that, but we got more coming with that, Jack. Sorry, buddy. So good things coming. There's always so much to tell, Jack. I always forget half of it.
There really is. We always end up we'll always have our meetings and go over everything, and then afterwards I'll text you 3 more things oh, I forgot this, and this, and there's always so much going on here. Not long media.
We keep it going. We keep it rolling. We keep it going. We keep it fun. I absolutely love doing it. I love doing this, though, Jack. I love talking about the bar of the week, baby. The bar of the week, brought to you by our friends over at SeatGeek. Listen, if you can't go to a bar of the week, you might as well go to the game. No better app. Trust me. Again, I don't just I'm not like, oh, whatever, we'll take you. Sure, if somebody wants to work with us, great. We'll work with you. We'll build a relationship. No, these are all products that I absolutely love working with. SeatGeek, promo code Colin Thompson, ColinThompson, 1L, the only way to spell Colin. Full name, punch that in. 20% off, or $20 off, Jack, excuse me. $20 off any, or 20%. I forget what our deal is now. Why am I brainstorming?
$20 off your first order, $50 or more. Use code Colin Thompson.
There it is. The great Jack Connell. That's why Jack makes a big buck for the show, baby. Believe it. I do everything off the top, so I'm just boom. I just let it rip. I just let it roar. I want it to be natural. I just can't stand the word from our sponsors. I can't do that. I can't do it. I don't want to do it because I want to keep the show engaging and fun. A little bit about sponsors. Appreciate you guys. Thank you again. SeatGeek, punch the promo code Colin Thompson. Colin Thompson, full name. Can't go to a bar of the week. Might as well go to the game, Jack. Our bar of the week this week is none other than the great Shots and Giggles in Key West, Florida. They're finally up to bat, Jack. I've been holding it back. The hurricane's on the way. There's no better place to go to a hurricane party than Shots and Giggles in Key West, Florida. I'm not going to reveal the score yet, but it could possibly be our first perfect bar score. And I'll be transparent. Uncle and Aunt own this bar. I spent many a days, many a nights, and maybe some early mornings at this place. I love it. It's home away from home. It's an awesome place. It's a family business. It's a locals bar. It's the place where when you go to a town and the first day you're like, oh, I'm going to go to this bar and that bar. I got to go here. Someone told me to go there. This is great. It's huge. And then at the second day, you're like, okay, where do the locals go? That's where I want to go. Where do I want to hear stories of fishing tales and old bar stories and old Key West stories and stories about how people ended up in Key West, the locals that lived there. Because no one really is from Key West. I shouldn't say that. There's conks. There's people that were born and raised in Key West, but the vast majority of people that work and live in Key West are not from there. So how'd they get there? There's no better place than Shots and Giggles. Food and ambiance. No food, but Steve and Hanya put a sick spread out for game days in the NFL. Steve's making ribs, hot dogs, got chili. They do potluck. They do incredible stuff for football Sundays. They always have food coming in and out. You can get food to go. You can eat it right in the bar. We get pizza delivered right to the bar. We eat it right in the back. There's a big wine room with a big TV at the other end of it and a huge place that we just get pizzas and have a good time there. So the food and ambiance, because you can get food brought in, the back area is tremendous. You can get beer, wine, and liquor to go. You can sit in the back towards the wine room and the beer room back there and hang out. There's a big couch. There's seating areas, like a little mini bar back there. You can sit out and watch the games. We're going to get into that in a second. So the food and ambiance, the front porch is great. The best sightseeing in town is right off the Wall Street. So you can see all the people walking under the water. You can see all the people just taking in the sights. Great people watching. There's a huge courtyard right there to hang out to, right next to Tattoos and Scars, a great bar there as well. So the food and ambiance, guys, I'm going to go with the 5 out of 5. There's lots to do. You can walk up to the window, hit the bell, and the service, the bartenders who are the best in town come right up, get you a beer. You can walk around with a beer legally in Key West, any drink. So food and ambiance, 5 out of 5, Jack. I'm going to go with the 5 out of 5, the rare 5 out of 5. TVs, the place is not that big. It's small. I think it's a 10-seat bar, maybe a little less. Maybe a little more, 10, 15-seat bar, and then another bigger bar, same size bar kind of situation in the wine room right there with a big TV at the end. So there's probably 20 bar stools in the place, and it's tight, it's fun. Again, it's local driven. It's got a great vibe in there. TVs are a 5 out of 5. You can't fit bigger TVs in the place or more TVs in the place. Every angle there's game on. They have NFL Sunday ticket. They have TVs like, okay, this is the Eagles TV. It's an NFC East bar. I've said it before. This is where the Reds, the Commanders will play. This is where the Giants are. This is where the Cowboys are. You come in, you request a game, they pop that game on. So any big game, they got it rolling. They got the red zone on. We've watched March Madness there before. It's great. We've been there for Premier League games. In the morning, it's great. We had Florida Lacrosse on one TV. We had Premier League, and then we had Texas Tech football on one TV. So, it's awesome. Feels like you're in your living room in Key West, right off the Wall Street, right behind Sloppy Joe's. The beer, 5 out of 5. TV's 5 out of 5. Food and service, 5 out of 5. The drinks are fantastic. So I'm going to put beer and drinks right into that mix. Awesome drink specials. You can't beat them in town. Period. You cannot beat them. And they're freaking ice cold beer. Ice cold beer, and they'll stuff it in ice for you too if you want it cold. So nothing better than ice cold beer. So food and ambiance 5 out of 5. TV's 5 out of 5. Beer 5 out of 5. And last but certainly not least, Jack, I'm going to go with the service. And you're not going to find better service in town than Shots and Giggles. You can go up the service window and get a drink to go. One bartender, they run the whole place. It'll be wall to wall, and they dominate the whole place. Stock the bar, get the drinks, make the drinks. Everyone has got what they want and more. So I'm going to go 5 out of 5 on the service, Jack. So we have our first 20 out of 20 bar Shots and Giggles, Key West, Florida, right directly behind Sloppy Joe's. Right behind Sloppy Joe's. Can't beat it, Jack. Our first 20 out of 20. What are your thoughts?
I'm impressed. I'm shocked. We finally got 20 out of 20. And like you said, I'm kind of shocked it took us this long to get to Shots and Giggles. I honestly expected that to be one of our first out the gate, but I guess if it's a 20, I completely understand saving it a little bit to show the impact of how truly great a 20 out of 20 is.
That was the plan, Jack. You know me. Dialed in, but also sometimes not dialed in. So, yeah, that was the plan. Hold as long as we could. I knew it was going to be a 20 out of 20. I didn't want to start with that. I wanted to paint the picture of some other places, but this is one of my favorite places to go to and hang out, especially in the off-season. Obviously, it's the best. It's family business. And there's something special about family business, I think. And then to make it in a town like that, with not a lot of family businesses, I think it's a really cool place. I've run by amazing people. So check it out next time you're in Key West, guys. Shots and Giggles Key West, brought to you by, our friend, our bar of the week, brought to you by SeatGeek. Pour some out. Tom Sleep. Check them out. Promo code Colin, COLIN. Under the Bus was brought to you by Mi Amiche, the best Italian food in the Charlotte area by far. Best service, best people, another family-ran business. Fudge Kitchen, Bus One, another family-ran business, 50 years of a family business. Next 50, another family business. Fudge Kitchen, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country, the original Fudge Kitchen. Matchups, Wealth Advisory Services, family business. Again, wealthadvisoryservices.com. If you don't know them, you should. And then Matt Cooper joining us today, guys. Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, U.S. Army vet, Air Marshal, police officer, private securities. We work with Tim Tebow hand to hand. Got some good Tebow stories. He's an author, public speaker, a mentor to many, including myself, a former strength coach. He's done a lot. He's well-traveled. He's got great stories. Anything before we wrap up there, Jackie?
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything. We got a bunch of segments in today. It was definitely a very detailed episode of the Colin Thompson Show today. Usually, sometimes we keep it short and sweet, but we add a couple more segments. I loved it. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
Taking a shot at my own organization. Yes, you're right, Jack. We're a little more organized today. I actually sent you the outline of the episode 1 minute before we went on air. Not even. So Jack had very little time to prep, but that's the way we do it. We keep it fun. We keep it loose. Have a good time. If you want to listen to some organized, crazy radio, you can go listen to ESPN radio. Whenever you could turn it off every 10 minutes. It'll be a commercial. We try not to do that here. Try to keep it fun, loose, and light. That's Jack Connell, the great Jack Connell, absolute warrior. Thank you, Jack. I'm Colin Thompson. Appreciate you guys listening to the Colin Thompson Show. It's a longer episode today, but if you like our show, you listen to it, I guess. People always complain, Jack, episode's too long. Well, you listen to Joe Rogan, that's 3.5 hours long. So you just say my podcast sucks, which is fine. I don't care. But I appreciate you tuning in. Enjoy the Matt Kubler episode. Thanks, guys.